Okay, great. First of all, I'd like to say how happy I am to be here, and I am absolutely thrilled that we have been able to form a partnership with Logifem, with BreakBulk Events and Media. They are our Women in BreakBulk Association partner for all three events. We have Dubai coming up in February, and then BreakBulk Europe in May, and BreakBulk Americas next September. So we are so excited to have that year-round relationship with you and the leaders of Logifem. So very excited about that. BreakBulk has been around for, let's see, this year actually will be 35 years of BreakBulk events. Started in Americas and then opened in Europe. And then our newest event, of course, is in the Middle East in Dubai. So it brings the purpose of BreakBulk events as a whole is to bring members of the Project Cargo and BreakBulk industry together for networking, new business opportunities, to understand trends in the market. So overall, that's sort of our umbrella, if you will. Women in BreakBulk started in, we do not have 35 years of history of that, more like 5. And it started because we recognized that there are few women in our industry, but they play important roles and they deserve to have a voice. So we started Women in BreakBulk to do just that. And the common theme, especially in the very beginning, I would always ask women as we gathered for these events, how many of you, raise your hands, how many of you have been the only woman in the room? Whether that's a conference room, on the golf course, wherever that might be, have you ever been the only woman? And I can tell you almost every woman in our industry, no matter what she does, where she's located, has had that experience. So by bringing women together, we can help women feel supported. It's a platform bringing women together, helping them feel supported, and sharing their experiences to help other women. We do have a Women in BreakBulk network. It's free to join, and it is, such a diverse group, women in all stages of their careers, across various industry sectors. But we do have a lot of women that are in the forwarding business. I would say that's probably the majority. And that's a big reason why Logifem was such a wonderful and appropriate connection for us to move Women in BreakBulk forward, because that's a group that we are putting our resources into and want to do more to reach more women, bring more women together, especially at our events, where we gather together. We have a great program, usually a keynote speaker, an industry panel, which is always everyone's favorite, where say 5-6 women will share some personal stories around a particular theme, and then audience members have an opportunity to ask questions, dig a little bit deeper, and get some really great takeaways that they can use in their own careers or lives. And I think that's something we've really come to realize, that it's not just the office and home. Those two things, those two locations, if you will, are interrelated and can never really be split apart. And that's Women in BreakBulk is a safe place to acknowledge that and talk about how do we balance those two things? How do we make that work? So that's the purpose of Women in BreakBulk, and we see it growing and growing. We're getting together in Dubai in just a couple of weeks, and in May in Rotterdam, we're expanding the program to include 2 events. So we'll have a breakfast on Tuesday, and then thanks to Emma, who will you'll hear from in just a little bit, we've also added a VIP boat cruise to Wednesday evening. So women have their own thing that they can do at night as well if they choose to do that. So I would say it's a tremendous networking opportunity. You make connections that might help you in your career, make friends, and something that you can, grow with throughout your career. So I'm happy to take questions later, but for now, I'll turn it over to Tuna.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. This is Tuna from Turkey, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much, Leslie, for this great partnership as well. I am founder of Logifem Society Network, which is the first woman network in the logistics world, as a network base, of course. And BreakBulk was there, as Leslie said, it has been 5 years already. And once I joined also the first time to BreakBulk, I have seen almost none of women around. But how I established how this became my dream was first time I joined my first global logistics conference was around maybe like 10 years ago. And you were like maybe 500 people, and there was like maybe 10 women only. Now recently, in the recent years, the number of women has been increasing, yet it's still not enough. And since that day, it was my dream to establish a platform for women who dedicated themselves into logistics, where they can come together, where they can empower each other, where they can increase partnerships and develop business together. Because it's not a network because there are many networks in the world, they are already there, they are already representing to be as a general networks, but we wanted to be unique, we wanted to do something unique, and especially for women in an industry which is male dominated. And when you see BreakBulk, it's already just all male industry, almost. Women is very, very less. In general, once you consider the numbers, we are just representing 35% of the supply chain industry. So we are not excluding men, of course, we still need their support, but what we want as women in this industry, more gender diversity and inclusion. So since we share the same mentality, and since we share the same dreams, and our goals are aligned with sustainable development of women empowerment together with BreakBulk, we really did our best to have this partnership. And I really appreciate the effort of Emma, who is one of our valued ambassadors of Logifem. She has been doing a lot, and she has been supporting women empowerment a lot. She's really dedicated to this. And thanks to Leslie for opening this opportunity for us, and we will be alive in Middle East BreakBulk for the first time. And after that, we hope to develop this partnership in the long term and in the long run, and we will be present also in hopefully in Rotterdam. Emma, again, our ambassador, will be representing us, and in Houston as well. So the aim of this partnership, I think it aligns with our fundamentals, where we want more women in the industry, where we want more women to come together and inspire each other, because it is already male-dominated industry. It's one of the most male-dominated industry in the world, and for us to take our seats on the table, it's not easy like men sometimes, because it's for them it's taken for granted. Of course, we don't hate men. We still love them, but the idea here is to bring more women together, where we can understand each other more, and again support each other, because once we understand each other more, we can do more things together, because the way is never straightforward. So I believe this partnership will be one of the biggest milestones for Logifem. So I'm so happy about that. We will be there, and we expect more women. We will be inviting every woman in logistics to come and join us. We will be having this woman lunch in BreakBulk Middle East. So I am again also open for any questions. And also our next event will be in Marrakesh in between 20 to 24th May. And hopefully Emma will be there, and hopefully Leslie will be there as well as our VIP guest. So we are offering a nice platform where all women can enjoy networking, and where all women can also feel a little bit like queens while they are working and doing business. So we are doing best to survive in this, to make them to survive in this platform as the unique female-oriented network. So we are so happy for this partnership. Again, thank you so much, ladies, for making this happen. And you are all welcome, ladies, to Middle East. And for any questions, we are here. I will leave the word to Miss Emma now.
Thank you, Tuna. Sorry, I thought I was still on mute then. No, thank you, Tuna, and thank you, Leslie, for that introduction. As Mike said earlier, my name is Emma Nash, and I am the Business Development Manager of Tuscalloyd UK, and I'm also the Managing Director of Tuscalloyd Turkey. Ambassador to Logifem, and also Ambassador to BreakBulk in previous years at the event. I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience at both BreakBulk and within Logifem. So Leslie, I think you mentioned there we are 5 years or so in BreakBulk with the Women in BreakBulk events. And I think when we very first started, you'll agree, Leslie, we was a smaller number than where we are today. We started with, I remember probably 5 years ago when they very first started, and Leslie actually interviewed me in Bremen, that was then, before we moved to Rotterdam in Europe. And that was when I really started to get involved with the Women in BreakBulk events. It's something, women in our industry is something that I've always been passionate about. And I think as a freight forwarder, we work a lot in outer gauge and project cargo. And from going to events such as BreakBulk, you know, as Leslie and Tuna have both said, you really do see how women are, you know, such a small number at these events. And I think by BreakBulk hosting these sessions, it really highlights how many women are actually there, but just may not be visible, because in an arena full of men, the women are always going to be a smaller number. So I think having these lunches and having these events, it's inspiring. You really see in the room so many women. I think in Rotterdam last year, Leslie, we must have had 100 women. We must have
at least a little bit more. Mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. And that was a room, you know, we went from 5 years ago doing a small breakfast, you know, and some interviews, you know, and thanks to Leslie, we're now in a position with over 100 women in a room, sharing stories, mentoring each other, you know, sharing experiences, and really giving everybody an uplifting feeling, which is, I think, something that, you know, both BreakBulk and Logifem are passionate about. So being members of both, I really wanted to bring these two communities together. and invite more of our members who are experienced in the out of gauge and the project sectors to consider the Women in BreakBulk, consider BreakBulk as an event, but of course consider the Women in BreakBulk. I think it's probably the only gathering, the only way people can get together in the industry and share stories from what may be considered a bit of a tougher background as well. You know, BreakBulk, heavy lift, people automatically think, you know, men, it's a male industry. We have women there, Leslie, I think from all sectors. So we have freight forwarders, you know, we have women who are actually working at the ports, you know, brokers, a real varied, you know, bunch of women who can share really different stories about what they've been through and where they are today in their career. It's very positive, it's very uplifting. So I would really encourage any of our Logifem members and anybody joining today to visit the website, get involved in both Logifem and BreakBulk, and of course register and join us. As Leslie said, there will be a panel in the Middle East and a lunch, and Rotterdam we will have the dedicated lunch and the boat trip this year, which is something I'm very happy about and thankful to Leslie. And that'll be a really nice space for everybody to be able to come together as women outside of the event. BreakBulk, for those who haven't joined before, is an exhibition, of course, during the day, but in the evening there tends to be lots of parties hosted by different companies. And I think it's really nice that we're going to use a space to get women together, a dedicated space for women, a beautiful boat trip, which I attended last year as part of the Port of Rotterdam. It's an absolutely beautiful trip, and I think it'll just be really nice to be able to extend into the evening and continue that networking. So I'm really excited about this collaboration, and I'm honoured to be a part of it from both BreakBulk and Logifem side. Again, any questions for me, please feel free to ask, but I do hope that you all get involved and join us in the Middle East for our first session. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for the wonderful information, and also all for the plan coming for BreakBulk and Logifem. And right now, to all of our attendees, if you have any questions, feel free to message the Q&A on the button below. There is a button there, so if you have any question with us, feel free to message it now. And ladies, if you have some question with each other, feel free to do so.
In the meantime, we can share also the link for registration for Women in BreakBulk in Middle East as well, Mike, from the chat though.
Okay.
I think one thing we didn't talk about yet is another piece of Women in BreakBulk that is thanks to Emma. She is full of ideas. It is really exciting. She came up to me in Rotterdam last year. Maybe it was after the event we talked, and she said, you know, I had it was so great being in the Women in BreakBulk gathering, and then I came down and went into the welcome reception and thought, where are the women? You know, it just was a snap back to a sea of men, and that it's very much like that, I think, in Rotterdam. Plus there's I think we usually have 11,000 or more people there, so it's a big show, the largest of its kind for the BreakBulk industry in the world. So it takes even more for women to stand out. So here was her idea, is to establish a Women in BreakBulk lounge on the show floor. A place where women could go and, you know, just sort of get off the floor for a bit, maybe have a meeting, maybe just relax, meet some other women. And that is something we launched at BreakBulk Americas just this past fall, and it was so well received. It was fantastic. So that's something else we plan to carry forward to the other events, thanks to Emma. So we're just waiting for your next big idea, Emma.
Oh,
You can't
don't put the
say
pressure. Yeah, I think it's always good to share ideas. And I think when you experience, as I said, it's many years that I've attended BreakBulk in Europe. And I think that's the one thing that I did always feel a little, that once we'd kind of had such an empowering session, everybody was feeling really uplifted. You kind of go onto the floor and you're back into your business head then, because you're looking for your meetings and where you need to visit. And you kind of look around and you think, where did all those women go? Like, one minute I'm in a room full of, women, and then all of a sudden it's so easy to get swallowed up within an arena of that size. And of course, because it is so big. So I think having the lounge will be perfect for women to actually, host meetings there, like you said, Leslie, and get away from things for a while. Because, I've seen Europe grow and grow year on year. And it's huge. When you're in there, it can easily become, you can become a small fish in such a big arena. And I think it's nice to have that space for women to get to organise meetings, and also just continue throughout the show. We're not just kind of having the event and then moving on from it. We've got a theme where the women are going to be considered all the way through the event. So I think that's really nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I agree, because we women, we love feeling special, so it will be like our special zone. I think everybody will be feeling over there more relaxed and enjoy networking with each other, having some chats and like mingle with each other. It will be really nice to have this lunch area. I'm so excited for that as well.
And for me too, I obviously, Europe is something that I, somewhere I visit every year, but Middle East will be the first time for me. So it'll be nice to be able to experience the women in BreakBulk in a different environment, in a different country. And I suppose as well, it's nice, Leslie, when you're saying how we've grown and introduced new parts to the women in BreakBulk, it's a nice feeling, and it's a proud moment for me to obviously have those ideas come to life, because it's nice to be able to, sometimes when you think these things, you're never sure whether they're going to be able to come into real life. So it's nice to be able to have that space and have those ideas taken on board. So I do thank you, Leslie, for that, because you took it on board, which is something I wasn't sure.
Well, I thank you for the ideas, and I think that though really does speak to the program, in that it is a sharing of ideas, and not just about changing women in BreakBulk or evolving or growing it, but when I see, for instance, last year in Rotterdam, we did a activity, a mentor mentee activity. And when I look back at those pictures, you can just see, it doesn't have to be a video, you can see the level of energy, the interaction between women as they switched roles from mentor to mentee and went from one person to another, which really gave them the opportunity to have in-depth conversations with other people, which is oftentimes on an exhibition floor, you're sort of limited to, hi, how are you? I'm so-and-so, I'm from here, blah, blah, let's meet, let's blah, blah, blah. And that's great, but we really want to take that further and give women a chance to make a more meaningful connection that we think will be far more powerful for them and in building long-term connections in the industry.
Yeah, I agree. Also, this partnership between BreakBulk and Logifem, I really believe it marks crucial role, and it creates an important chapter in logistics for women and global logistics for women, because the BreakBulk is one of the most important part of logistics, and we are more in freight forwarding. But there are also many women like Emma, especially our ambassador, who are both in BreakBulk and freight forwarding. So uniting them all together is, as you said, Leslie, it's not about numbers. Like, our mission goes beyond numbers here. It's about like creating lasting change and make those old challenges more easier for women in this industry. So it will be the real aim behind it is will be much more than that, and we will feel it once we will uh, be present in this environment. I'm so happy again. Thank you very much, ladies, for making this happen. And Leslie, again, it's great idea to make a woman in BreakBulk, opening this area for women within BreakBulk. And I'm so happy that we have this chance as Logifem, which we are unique on our side as well. And we are coming together for all women in this industry. It's amazing.
I agree. I also agree on that. And thank you again, everyone, for attending our webinar in the partnership for Logifem and BreakBulk. And we look forward in expanding not only our network, but also the community of women empowering in the logistics world, both in Logifem and also in BreakBulk. So thank you, everyone. If you have any further questions, feel free to message us on our social media platform or sending us an email. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, good morning, and a great day.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much to everyone.
Thank you.